And so can you give us examples specifically how it works? So say I have an idea and I come to you, and I know you're an ethical bank, so I like that, and I'm coming to you and I want financing. So take us through the process.
Yeah, so first you probably come, even if you come first to the bank, then you are redirected to a cooperative, because in order to become a customer you would need to become a member of the cooperative. In order to become a member of the cooperative, first you need to hear a little bit about what we are doing, why we are cooperative, so you need to read through the documents, and then we also have we have acceptance criteria based on that you need to have 2 recommendations for existing members in order to become a member, which then means that they are providing you with a social guarantee that you are a person who is in accordance with the values of cooperative. And if you don't have, if you don't know any members, then we make an interview with you where we do this initial introduction. We actually try to know you more, to see what are your expectations of the cooperative and the bank, what are your resources, how you can contribute to the cooperative. So to see actually this initial position and screening, what would be actually a role in the cooperative. Based on that, we are able then to see what is your business idea, and
is there a membership fee?
It is membership fee, which is the base membership fee is for everybody the same, so it's around 330 euros. And there is additional membership fee which is dependent on type of legal entity. So if your company is bigger, you need to pay more into cooperative than if you're just individual, then this 330 euros is all that you need to put as a fee. With that you become a member of the cooperative. It is still your money, so you decide to stop being a member, you get this money back. So it is not expense to anybody, it is just your intake, your participation in the cooperative capital. And with that you get the right for access to all cooperative services. And with your idea, with your business plan, then we find within the cooperative who are people who have expertise in that field. They look into the plan and they give initial assessment. Is it something that makes sense, or it needs to be adjusted? We always look not only to your business, but we also then look to extension of your value chain. We are looking if there are suppliers that you need that could be found within the cooperative. Are there customers who would be interested in your products and services within the cooperative? So we help you both find reliable suppliers and reliable customers, and reliable partners if it is something that is extended process which requires also collaboration with other companies.
So from the point of so then you go to so at that point when the cooperative approves or takes you into membership and approves of the project, the bank then takes over. But can you just, before you tell me then from that point when the bank actually looks at financing and how it then goes forward, what is the vetting process for projects? Like, do they have to be environmentally sound? Do they have to be sound in any other way, or just financially viable?
Yeah, so we are using 3 different components to assess the viability of the project. Of course, it needs to be financially sustainable, but sustainable means 0+. It needs to be able to return a loan, of course, if we are going to give a loan. But it also at the same time needs to be assessed from the perspective of environmental impact and social impact. And for that we are using a tool which is called Common Good Metrics, which we have learned and taken over from Austrian organization which is called Gemeinwohl Economy or Economy for Common Good. which has multidimensional metrics, which is assessing projects through all different criteria, which are then enabling to achieve some score that is related to those non-financial parameters. In order to qualify for finance, you need to be above certain threshold. So if you are score lower than that, it means that your social and or environmental impact is not on the proper level to be financed, and we just don't want to finance the project. So it is not possible to do it if you are not taking into account those aspects as well. Of course, we can help you. Maybe you haven't introduced those parameters because you were not aware of, or you didn't have a capacity or knowledge how to take into consideration those aspects. So then we can help you through the cooperative, redirect you to members who can consult you and help you maybe to improve your projects to become eligible for financing. And after we see that you are eligible, then it goes to the banking process, in which bank looks into risks that are associated with the project, for the credibility of applicant and everything which is the traditional and the legal obligation of a bank to do. And after bank is happy with that, then the project is first offered to be financed to cooperative members through a quasi-equity crowdfunding platform. So each member who sees this as a project that he or she wants to invest money into it is open to participate and can chip in. And if enough money is collected that way, then it is then the bank is then just a facilitator of the process and does transactions on behalf of members who have decided to invest in the projects. If not, then this financing is topped up with the loan, which is then given, and then which is just a classical bank loan. But the idea is that the whole project is financed as a project, which means that it necessarily needs to have milestones, and that we as a cooperative and as a bank regularly monitor success of the projects. That if we see that something is going wrong and then there is a threat that it will go in a negative direction in the future, then we can employ additional resources of cooperative to try to avoid that. So if it is needed to find a new markets, or to improve advertising strategy, or to lower the costs of energy or something, so we can use resources of the cooperative to work together with you on that. And of course, if it is needed to restructure the financing, then we are also as a bank ready to assist in that. And with that, we try to minimize the risk for the project and for the bank at the same time, which is in ethical banking a very successful process, so that statistically only around 2% of projects are not able to return their finances, or so that go defunct.
Quite impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a much better score than traditional banking, but the whole reason of that is because the bank is much closer. It is able to do tailor-made financing. So we always try to look what is your project all about. We don't have just, I don't know, loans for agriculture business, because we know that it is very different if you are growing salad or you are, I don't know, having grapes, having a vineyard. That with one thing, of course, you are able to do 2 or 3 times return annually, which is how salad as a seasonal culture can grow in that pace. And if you are in vineyard business, that we need at least to have 3 years of grace period before you can get any returns. So we always employ experts who understand the business to tell us what is the reasonable and expected cash flow, economic flow behind the project, and so that we can tailor-made and adjust the financing for exactly for your needs. And that is something which is quite frequently, or I would say almost always, not available by commercial banks, mainstream banks, except maybe in the largest possible projects where they need to do that.